Dear students, Namaste and welcome you to the next class of Compulsory English Grade 10. How are you doing, dear students? I hope everything is okay with you. Dear students, are you ready to learn the new lesson today? I hope you'll enjoy it. Dear students, I hope you know well what lesson we are going to study today. Can you say me the title of the unit? Okay, it is Countries and Towns. That's good. Now can you guess what we are going to do in this lesson today under this unit, Unit 17? Very good. We are going to deal with grammar exercises, both Grammar 1 and Grammar 2. So, please be ready to learn, okay? That's good. Let's move ahead. So, I'm going to show you a video first. Please watch it, okay? Okay, dear students, you watched a short video clip. Let me ask you a question. How was the man riding the bike there? Was he riding slowly or quickly? Can you say? Okay, he was riding quickly. That's fine. Okay, students, let me show you another video. Okay, just to watch it. Okay, dear students, I hope you watched the video. Now, can you tell me how were the men riding their bikes or bicycles, you can say? And the second video, how are they riding? Were they riding quickly? Were they fast riders? Or were they riding slowly? Can you tell me? Exactly, they were riding slowly. Okay? So see there, we watched both videos and we described their riding. In the first video, the rider was riding very quickly. In the second video, the men were riding very slowly. So quickly, slowly, such words are adverbs. Okay? So we can describe how people do the things using adverbs. Dear students, in this grammar exercise, Grammar 1, we are going to learn the use of adjective and adverbs. So, let's learn first what are adjectives and what are adverbs, in which situation we use adjectives and in which situation we use adverbs. Okay? Are you ready to learn? Okay, let's move ahead then. Everyone, please look at the screen. Study these sentences under adjective and adverb. You can see a table there. Let me read the sentences for you, okay? Alright, so just look at the column under adjective. The children are playing in a beautiful park. Look at the highlighted word, beautiful. In the same way, this liquid is not edible. See the highlighted word here. Do not write meaningless letters. Meaningless is highlighted here. The hotel is nice. Nice is an adjective, so it's highlighted. She has an adorable baby. See, adorable is highlighted here. It's an adjective. Similarly, her hair is gorgeous. So, gorgeous is highlighted here. It's an adjective. Let's look at the next column under adverb. He walked quickly. Quickly is an adverb. It's highlighted. Similarly, she spoke politely. The boy coughed loudly to attract her attention. Loudly. He greedily ate the food. Greedily. The baby ran towards his mother happily. So look at the word happily. It's an adverb. Similarly, she danced well despite being tired. Look at the word well. It's highlighted. It's an adverb. She quickly agreed to pay me back. So look at the word quickly again. So these words highlighted in this column are all adverbs. Now, after this example, I hope you understood what is an adjective, when do we use adjectives. Can you say? Look at this column, look at the highlighted words, and just tell me, what is an adjective? What function does adjective have in a sentence? Can you say? Okay, so you are right. Any word that modifies noun or pronoun is an adjective. You are right. Whatever you said, that's true. So, for example, you see there, a beautiful park. So, the word beautiful describes the word park. If somebody asks, how is the park? Then certainly the answer will be beautiful. So, it describes, it modifies the word park. In the same way, if you look at the second, this liquid is not edible. If somebody asks, how is this liquid? Certainly you will say, it's not edible. So it describes liquid. In the same way, meaningless letters. The word meaningless describes or modifies the word letters. Nice describes, modifies hotel. Adorable baby. How is the baby? Adorable. How is her hair? Gorgeous. So in this way, adjectives modify nouns. They talk about nouns. In the same way, look at next column. Adverbs. So can you say, what are adverbs? What function do they play in a sentence? Can you say? Okay. All right, that's good. So any word that modifies an adjective, an adverb itself, a verb, that is an adverb. Any word that modifies, not noun, not pronoun, but adverb itself, or adjective, or a verb, then that is an adverb. Look at here. He walked quickly. Quickly does not talk about he. Rather, it talks about the manner of walking. How did he walk? Quickly. So, it modifies the verb walk. See, next word, she spoke politely. It does not say that she was polite. It does not say. It says how she spoke. Okay? So, it modifies the verb spoke. How she spoke? Politely. How she spoke? Politely. So, how did she speak? If somebody asked, then she spoke politely. So, politely modifies the verb spoke. See, the boy coughed loudly. Again, how did the boy cough? Loudly. He greedily ate the food. How did he eat? Greedily. The baby ran towards his mother happily. So, how did he run? Happily. See, she danced well. How did she dance? Well. She quickly agreed. How did she agree? Quickly. So, in this way, the adjectives, they modify nouns or pronouns. Adverbs, they talk about verbs, adjectives, or sometimes adverbs themselves. So that's the major difference. Let's look at these differences in detail. So as we discussed earlier, look at there, an adjective modifies a noun or a pronoun. We already discussed. Similarly, an adverb modifies another adverb, a verb, or an adjective. It is often has the suffix ly at the end. Most of the adverbs, they do have ly at the end, especially when they talk about manner. Similarly, see, adjectives, when we use, they tell us what kind of thing, how many, number, or which one. Okay? So, similarly, if you look at adverb, they answer the question like how. How did he run? Quickly. For example, when, time, where, place, or to what extent. So such things are answered by adverbs. So you need to remember, always remember that adjectives are used to describe nouns, which means they can explain what kind of thing you have, how many things you have, which thing you are talking about. Okay. In the same way, adverbs are used to describe verbs, which means they can explain how something happened, when something happened, or where something happened. So you can find the answers to such questions. Dear students, I hope you understood the differences between adjective and adverb, and you learned when do we use adjective and when do we use an adverb. So now this is the time to practice. You have to be able to choose whether to use an adjective or adverb. Can you do that? Okay, that's wonderful. You can do. I know well. Okay, let's do then. Let's do. Okay, so everybody turn a book and look at the exercise under grammar I. The first exercise A. Everyone, please look at there and let's do it together. Okay? All right, are you ready? Okay, let's begin then. So look at the instruction first. It says, choose the correct adjective or adverb to complete the following sentences. Did you get it? Okay, it's very simple. So look at each sentence there. In each sentence, in the brackets, you find one adjective and one adverb. And we have to choose whether adjective is used there or adverb is used there. Okay? Did you get the idea? Wonderful. Let's move ahead then. Let's begin with A. My family can't afford a car. So here you have to use either my poor family can't afford a car or my poorly family can't afford a car. So C. Remember the thing we discussed earlier. Adjectives modify noun or pronoun. Adverbs modify verb or adjective or next adverb. So look at this context here. We are going to use one of these words just before the word family. Just before the word family. Not before any verb or not after any verb. So the word is going to modify family. And family is a noun. That's why. What are we going to use here? Okay, that's good. Poor, you said. Poor is the right word here. Wonderful. We used adjective here. Now from B, you will say the answer, okay? All right. Let's begin. Sujata performed poorly at the concert. Which one is right? Poor or poorly? Can you say? Exactly, it's poorly. That's good. But can you tell me why poorly is correct one here? You said the correct answer, but why? Why is it a correct answer? Can you say? Okay, that's good. Because the word poorly modifies performed. If somebody asks, how did she perform? Then we say poorly. That's good. Let's see C. Suraj is calm or calmly under pressure. Which one? Calm or calmly? Okay, Suraj is very good, calm. That's good. So here the word calm modifies Suraj. How is Suraj? Calm. Okay. D. The cook patiently removed the boiling pot from the stove. See there? The cook patiently removed the boiling pot from the stove. So which one do you think is the correct one? Are we talking about how is the cook, or are we talking about how did the cook remove the boiling pot? What do you think? Yes, you are right. We are talking about how he removed the boiling pot. So what should be the answer then? Yes, exactly. It's patiently. That's good. Let's move on to next. Here the sentence is, the teacher spoke loudly to the students. So, how did the teacher speak? How did the teacher speak? Loud or loudly? Exactly, loudly. We are talking about the manner the teacher talked, teacher spoke. That's why loudly. That's the right answer. Very good. Now next one, F. Okay. Sunil walked to the kitchen quite quietly. So what's the right answer here? Quite or quietly? Exactly, it's quietly. But why? How can you say that quietly is the right answer? Very good. Because we are talking the way Sunil walked into the kitchen. That's why it's quietly. Okay. Now, G. The quietly children listen to the teacher. Okay. The quiet children or the quietly children? What do we say? Exactly. We say the quiet children. So the word quiet modifies children here. It talks about children. Now 8. The woman softly sang a lullaby to her infant. So soft or softly, which one is correct? Or adjective or adverb? Which one do you need here? Can you say? Okay, here we need an adverb because we are going to talk about the way woman sang. That's why, what's the right answer? Okay, softly. That's good. Now, the kitten timidly peered from under the couch. Which one is the right one? How did the kitten peer from under the couch? Timid or timidly? Okay, certainly when we talk about the manner, it's adverb and the answer is timidly. That's wonderful, dear students. You did well. Now let's move on to exercise B. So before we do exercise B, let's see degrees of adjectives and adverbs because there we are going to make comparison or we are going to use different degrees of adjectives and adverbs. So this is what we have already discussed even while discussing speaking lesson. So I'm going to tell you in very brief only. Okay. So see there, well is an adverb, good is an adjective. So if you look at comparative degree, well and good both do have the same comparative degree. Better and superlative also the same, best. Similarly, heavy, heavily. Heavy is an adjective, heavily is an adverb. So heavy, heavier, heaviest. Whereas heavily, more heavily, most heavily. Similarly, look at quickly. It's an adverb. More quickly, most quickly. Similarly, beautifully, more beautifully, most beautifully. Gracefully, more gracefully, most gracefully. This is just the examples for you. So you can find many adverbs and adjectives and find the comparative and superlative degrees. Okay, you can try it. Just the sample I have given to you. Now, again, let me remind you one thing. When do we use positive degree? When do we use comparative degree? And when do we use superlative degree? For this, I have the next thing to talk. So first look at the pictures I'm going to show you and then we'll talk about when do we use positive degree, when we use comparative degree and when we use superlative degree. Okay? Shall we do that? Very good. Let's move on. So look at these three pictures. There are three mountains. Can you identify them? Can you recognize them? The first one is, okay, very good, Machapusre. Second one, okay, it's Annapurna. And third one, yes, you easily recognize it. It's Mount Everest. Okay. Now let me show you some sentences. And before that, let me ask you something. So among these three, so all mountains are high. All mountains are high. When we say mountains, they are certainly high. Among them, see, look at their degrees there. Which one is higher? Which one is the highest? Can you say? You see there, Machapusra is there, Annapurna, Everest. So among these, which one is the highest you think? Certainly Everest, because it's the highest peak in the falls, you know well. Let's see some sentences there. So see there, Mount Machapusari is high. Mount Everest is higher than Mount Machapusari. Or you can say Mount Annapurna is higher than Mount Machapusari. Or Mount Machapusari is not as high as Mount Everest. Or Mount Annapurna is not as high as Mount Everest. In this way also you can say. Similarly, Mount Everest is the highest mountain. You cannot say the same thing to others. So look at there. So in the first one, we just talked about Mount Machapusari. So individually, that's why we used positive degree high only. But look at the second one. We made comparison between two, Mount Everest and Mount Machapusari. So we are using higher than here. But in the same case, we can also make comparison in a different way using as also. So we have used Mount Machapusari is not as high as Mount Everest. This is another way of making comparison using as, adjective or adverb as. Look at the last one. So here we compared Mount Everest with all. That's why it's the highest. So if you talk one individually, then positive degree. If you make comparison between two, then comparative degree. And if you compare one with rest of the others, then superlative degree. Dear students, I hope you understood it. Now let's move on to exercise. Are you ready? Wonderful. Choose the correct form of the adjectives or the adverbs given in brackets and rewrite the sentences. So see there, you have been given the words in brackets, either adjectives or adverbs, and you have to use correct form, means positive, comparative or superlative forms. Okay? So let's begin with the first one. Some people think that the Sanskrit language is much, in the brackets we do have complicated, it's an adjective, to deal with than the Nepali language. So which form do you think we use here? Positive, comparative or superlative? Can you say? Okay, that's good. We use comparative because we are making comparison between two languages. That's why more complicated. More complicated. Okay. In the same way, metal is then wood. Which degree? Positive, comparative or superlative? Okay, very good. Again comparative because we are making comparison between metal and wood. So heavier. In the same way, look at the third one. Wood is not as iron. See there, when there is as, we use as adjective, as or as adverb, as positive degree we have already discussed. So certainly it's heavy. Now next. So what's the answer there? Can you say? He ran quickly than me. What will be there? Which form? You said more quickly, is it? Okay, more quickly. But can you tell me why more quickly? Can you tell me? Very good. Because there is comparison between he and me. That's good. Now, E. Albert Einstein was an Persian. Can you tell me what's the right answer here? Which form are we using here? Positive, comparative or superlative? Which one? Hey, positive? Why? Can you say? Exactly. We are talking about Albert Einstein only. That's why positive. So, intelligent is the correct answer. Let's move ahead. If my sister can speak English, well then Juna. So, what's the right answer here? Okay, which form? Comparative. And what's the comparative form of well? Very good. Better. That's why better is the right answer because there is comparison between my sister and Juna. G. A family car is not fast as a sports car. What will be there in the blank space? Fast. Can you say why? Yes, there is as. That's why as fast as. H. I wrote beautifully than he did. Which form? We do have adverb here, beautifully. Now, which form of adverb are we going to use? Positive, comparative or superlative? Which one? That's wonderful. We are using comparative. So, more beautifully, I and he. We are comparing between two. Sunita did not dance gracefully as Mamata did. Again, we are making comparison between Mamata and Sunita and using, you can see here, as. So, what are we going to use? Yes, as gracefully as. Now, the last one. The journey home by bus takes much than by plane. Okay, what degree do you think we are going to use? Yes, comparative. So, the journey home by bus takes much longer than by plane, longer. Okay, that's good. Dear students, you did a wonderful job. So, under grammar 1, we learned to use adjectives and adverbs. We discussed their differences and even we used them along with their degrees. Is it? Now, let's move on to grammar 2. Do you know what we are going to study under grammar 2? Very good. We are going to use the connectives correctly. Okay, can you tell me some examples of connectives? Okay, that's good. But, however, although, even though, okay, that's good. Let's move on then. Okay, dear students, before we enter into the exercise, I do have some sentences. You will study them, okay? Alright, let's see it. Let's do it together. Last year, we went on a holiday to Pokhara. It rained a lot, but we enjoyed it. Observe the word that is highlighted. Observe the connective that is highlighted. Last year, we went on a holiday to Pokhara. It rained a lot. However, we enjoyed it. See, this time we have used however. In the same way, last year, we went on a holiday to Pokhara. The same thing. Although it rained a lot, we enjoyed it. See, the same thing is there, but we are using although here. Again, last year we went on holiday to Pokhara. The same thing. In spite of or despite the rain, we enjoyed it. See, the idea is the same, but we have used in spite of, despite here. Last year we went on a holiday to Pokhara. We didn't enjoy it because it rained a lot. See, now we have used because here. Similarly, last year we went on a holiday to Pokhara. We didn't enjoy it because of the rain. We have used because of here. See, I have given you the same idea here. All the sentences bring the same idea. I have given it for you so that you can easily compare the use of these connectives. Okay? And you see, so you can find different types of connectives here, but and however, they are one, although in spite of or despite, this pair is a different one, because and because of, this is a different pair. Now, if you look at these, so although, even though, in spite of, despite, they are used to link two contrasting ideas. See, they are contrasting ideas. Although it rained, we enjoyed it, but we enjoyed. See, contrasting idea. Okay. So these facts are not common thing. They are surprising. They are contrasting. Generally, they do not happen. Generally, when it rains, people do not enjoy the holiday. Okay. So they can be used at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence. See, although here it's in the beginning, but you can use same although in the middle also. For example, you can say we enjoyed our holiday although it rained a lot, you can say. Okay. Similarly, you see, but and however, they are also used to link to contrasting independent clauses. Okay. So they mean the same, but and however, they mean the same. But the difference is that but comes between the clauses. You see, it rained a lot, but we enjoyed it. So between two clauses, it rained a lot and we enjoyed it. But however, look at there, however, it rained a lot, however, we enjoyed it. It's in the beginning of a sentence. See, sometimes even however follows semicolon. For example, it rained a lot, semicolon, then however, we enjoyed it. That also we can do. Okay. Dear students, similarly, if you look at because and because of, then you can find that they are giving reasons. For example, last year we went on a holiday to Pokhara. We didn't enjoy it. Why? What's the reason for not enjoying it? because it rained a lot. This is the reason. Okay, or because of the rain you didn't enjoy. That's the reason. Okay, so because is generally followed by a subject and a verb. See, because it is a subject, rained is a verb, or we can say a clause. Similarly, because of is always followed by a noun phrase. See, the rain. The rain is a noun phrase here. Dear students, again let's see some sentences here, and let's make comparison between the differences between although and because, or in spite of and because of. See there? She performed well in the program, although she had practiced very little. Here see, the speaker thinks performing well is unusual if you practice very little. So contrasting, okay, ideas. But see there, she did not perform well in the program because she had practiced very little. Now it gives, the second clause gives the reason why she did not perform well in the exam. Well in the program. Okay. In the same way, she performed well in the program in spite of very little practice. So surprising fact, she did not practice. She practiced very little, but she performed well. Okay. Surprising fact, contrasting fact. But look at the second one. She did not perform well in the program because of very little practice. It gives the reason. Second clause tells us the reason. Because of very little practice, she did not perform well. Okay. So in this way, I hope you learned the ways of using although and because, or in spite of, despite, or because of. Okay. Now, dear students, it's the time to practice. Let's practice it. So complete the following sentences using the correct connectives given below. Okay. So here because of, however, although, despite, or in spite of, and but we do have. So let's begin with the first one. It was summer, the days were rather cold. Generally what happens in summer? The days are hot. So we do have contrastive ideas. So it's in the beginning and there is a clause, it was summer. So what's the right word here? Exactly, it's although. Very good. Let's move on to second. A piece of stone struck the workman's head. He was not hurt. What's the right word here? Can you say? Okay, you said however. Okay, however. But can you tell me why however there? Exactly, because it connects to contrastive ideas. But see, the second sentence begins. There are two different sentences and the word is in the beginning of a sentence. Okay, so the two clauses are not together. They are two separate sentences and it is in the beginning. That's why however we use. Otherwise we could have used but also. I like popcorn, I don't like pizza. So see, we do have a blank space in the middle. We are going to use two independent clauses. I like popcorn, I don't like pizza. So what are we going to use here? Exactly, it's but. That's good. Now the next one. Her is it a clause or noun phrase? Exactly, it's a noun phrase. She is still working very hard. Does the second one give the reason or the interesting fact or contrasting fact? Okay, exactly, it gives a contrasting fact. That's why we are going to use yes, despite or in spite of. E. Narayan is a skillful worker. He can't read and write very well. See there, skillful worker can't read and write. So it's a surprising fact. That's why although. That's good. Let's go to F. Petrol had become so expensive, Brian sold his car and bought a motorcycle. See there. Petrol became expensive, Brian sold car and bought a motorcycle. So look at these two clauses. Are they contrastive clauses? Or the second one gives the reason for doing the first one or result of the first one? Okay. So here you have to use exactly because. So it's the reason. Okay. Why did he sell his car? Because petrol had become so expensive. That's the reason for selling the car and buying a motorbike. Okay. G. I took a taxi, blank space or ... it was raining. What will be there in the blank space? What connective are we going to use? Very good. It's because. I took a taxi because it was raining. This is the reason for taking taxi. That's good. Now 8. All flights were cancelled, ... the fog. So see, are these contrastive ideas or reason for doing something? See, all flights were cancelled. The fog means here the fog is the reason. That's why we need a reason connective. So because or because of then? Exactly, we are using because of, because there is a noun phrase. So because of is the right answer. That's good. Now I, feeling unwell, she went to school. See, feeling unwell, went to school. Is it reason or surprising fact or contrastive idea? Exactly, it's contrastive idea. And look at the beginning part. Is it a complete clause? No? Oh, yes, it's a noun phrase. That's why we use very good, despite or in spite of. That's good. Now the last one. Prinja felt cold. ... she was wearing a winter coat. See there? Prinja felt cold. ... she was wearing a winter coat. What goes in the blank space here? Two clauses are there. Prinja felt cold, it's one. She was wearing a winter coat, another. So, can you say wearing winter coat but still feeling cold? That's why they are contrastive ideas. If somebody wears a coat, she should have felt warm, but still she is feeling cold. That's why we need a contrastive connective. And which one? Okay, so we need here although. That's good. Okay, dear students, you really did a great work. So I told you you need to connect two clauses together and make a single sentence, or two sentences together and make a single sentence using the connectives given in the brackets. So in the first one, I was really tired and I could not sleep. You do have although in the bracket. Using although, you need to connect these two sentences. So you can connect in this way. Although I was really tired, I couldn't sleep. Okay. In this way, you have to connect these sentences together. Okay. This is your assignment. You complete it and submit to your English teacher and get feedback. Okay. Alright, dear students, thank you very much for your active participation. I hope this lesson helped you learn the use of adjectives and adverbs as well as use of connectives. Thank you very much. We'll meet again in the next class. Till then, goodbye. Namaste.